I can say I'm a poet. They be like, ooh, say something. I'll be like, the stars are bright on Texas.
Emmanuel.
Can?
Yeah, man, I used to rap. That's some of the birds.
You already made one freestyle. You already made one freestyle. Oh my God, he would say words backwards and all types.
No.
Like what's that?
You in for real?
Man, I'm for real. He tried to. Okay, he tried to though.
That was cold,
He
man.
was cold.
It is cold.
Emmanuel, he cracked me up. He'll do it out of nowhere. Like, what are you talking about, bro? We didn't even, you know? And he just want to start freestyling. And he won't stop.
Papoose and Remy got like the dopest.
I'm sorry.
Hey, get the 16 real quick.
Please don't. Please don't. Okay, but no, do it on live.
Kick a 16 real
Do
quick.
it on live.
There's something called pay-per-view for you.
You gotta pay for it.
Gotta pay for that thing.
You gotta pay for it.
Gotta pay for it. Shabbat shalom, everybody. And that is not
Anybody ever been?
Yeah, he had to go out of town. Shabbat shalom. We're gonna go and get started. June, can you lead us in prayer? Grab this mic over here. I'll grab some water.
Oh, go ahead. Okay. Father God, I'd like to thank you for bringing us together today, waking us up this morning, Father, and giving us the breath of life, the gift that you have given us of the breath of life, Father. Thank you for getting us here safely, Father. And let our hearts and minds and ears be open to what we're about to learn today, Father. And let's suck this up. In your name, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. So, while that song is playing, what do y'all remember about the lesson from last week? Hmm? Yeah, we lost subscribers behind that. What do y'all remember about it?
Last week. Yeah, the 7 times, the stacking of the iniquity of the sins of our ancestors and stuff.
Right, and how many times did it go?
7 times, we got it to about 28.
About 28 times. So 28 times it stacks when we do what?
So 28 times the stack.
When we do what?
When we keep on sinning.
Right.
Our ancestors, but down the line.
Iniquities of the fathers, visiting the iniquities of the fathers to the third and fourth generation of those that hate me, right?
Every one of us that mess up.
Right. And so, especially now, especially when it comes to on Wednesdays, we're going to do things a little bit differently for a little bit. I got a word that I have to heed to. But we all need to be getting our houses in order. With everything that's going on in this crazy world, with the presidential election and with all this other nonsense that's going on, we have got to make sure that as men and as leaders, we're doing what we're supposed to do, and we're being the right example for our kids and for our spouses. Because man, when this stuff really does hit, we gotta, like, every household's got to be on one accord. You can't be all the bickering and arguing, disputes, pettiness, indecisiveness. Children don't know who to listen to because the wife is bucking against the husband, and there's no family, there's no togetherness, no order. I'm telling you, because Saudi Arabia, literally a few weeks ago, left the petrodollar, the American dollar altogether. Russia and China, they've talked about creating this multipolar government that doesn't include the United States of America. Judgment is coming here. Go ahead. And Korea, right?
Russia just named America as their arch, their literal enemy.
Give him the mic. Yeah, speak on that. They can't hear you.
Russia just literally, it's on YouTube right now, they just literally declared America their enemy, like, enemy.
Nemesis, like arch rival.
They never did it in public until now. And you know, they already got nuclear, what do you call them, nuclear boats or,
Bombs and intercontinental missiles.
submarines and
Yeah.
nuclear carriers, aircraft
Right.
carriers in Cuba, like my Florida. And that's part of the war that recently also people in America to actually see the boats passing by going to Cuba. So that's something right there. So now Cuba and Russia is back connected like it was 40 years ago, generations ago. But now Russia is saying that America is definitely their enemy. Like that's for the whole world to know. So you know that's what people go talk to this time.
Right.
Yeah. We've always been enemies, kind of sort of. But now it's
Even
like,
in the movies, but now it's like it's out in the public to where you can't refute it.
It wasn't in the movies.
yeah, it's always Russia.
It wasn't in the movies. The Cold War was about Russia.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a war. It was just
Cold War
disputes.
was about Russia and America against each other.
Yeah.
It's a spy war.
That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
they never had came out and blatantly been like, yeah, y'all are my enemy, we're gonna take you down. And there's a lot of people that have a false sense of reality in America, man. America's days has been numbered.
America is not as great as it once was.
No, and if you watch any bit and piece of that presidential
It was horrible.
election,
Or that debate,
debate.
it was horrible.
Oh, and it was really strange because I was like, so there's no people there? So Trump and Biden.
Yeah.
Biden got slaughtered.
Mine got slaughtered, but Trump, he was always saying some
And
stuff that wasn't facts also. You know?
yeah, of course. And then he would avoid some stuff too. Yeah, I was watching. But the thing about it is, like, they don't even really talk about our people until you get to about the 55-minute mark. And it was probably for a total of 7 minutes. Outside of that, it's about all these other things, and it's just slander, throwing rocks, try to hide your hands, stones.
They more for this because almost
Right.
the whole thing.
And the thing is, like, well, you got to get it out of your head, if you still have it in your head, that a president or a political party is going to save you. Because it ain't going to happen. It ain't saved us this whole time, and it's still not going to save us. Because, like, there's a war coming because they don't fear America no more. And people don't believe that. So, as a quick recap, I'm not recapping everything, just a small portion. Who will not make it into the kingdom? Do y'all remember? And if there's messages on there, will y'all let me know?
The sinners. I mean, if you ain't doing God's,
Those who will not
the Most High's will, you ain't gonna make them king.
Right. Do y'all remember what scripture we went to in the New Testament that it was actually Paul that talked about it? It was 1 Corinthians 6, right? 1 Corinthians 6. And Jeremiah, if you don't mind, go ahead.
Dare any of you having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust, and not before the saints. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
So as long as we do what the Most High has commanded us to do, and like this whole thing is about light, whether we believe it or not, it's about which light are you following, which light it's burning inside of you. You have to make the choice. The whole thing's about light. Keep going.
Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? If then ye have judgments of things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are least esteemed in the church. I speak to your shame. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you? No, not one that shall be able to judge between his brothers.
So there's supposed to be somebody that's can judge, that can discern the things, wisdom and understanding. Right? Keep going.
But brother goeth the law with brother, and that before the unbelievers. Now therefore there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law one with another. Why do ye not rather take wrong? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded?
Because it's better to be judged by righteous people,
Yeah.
righteous brethren, than
Yeah.
unbelievers
Of course.
in this world's judicial system, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nay, ye do wrong and defraud, and that your brother. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yah?
That's what y'all said, right?
Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yah.
So these people that he says will not make it, they are following a different light, and their light is shining, right? So what do we remember about what fornication meant?
That's like, fornication, like having sex, right? We ain't supposed to be having sex.
Right.
Yeah.
So pornos, right? It's where they get the word porno from.
Greek word.
Fornicator, whoremongerer. So it's not just this definition down here that says a man who prostitutes himself, his body to another's lust for hire, pornography. A male prostitute, a man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse, a fornicator. But again, it's also a whoremongerer. If you have that spirit in you, you need to be purging yourself of that thing now. Because that kingdom, look, man, you ain't going to make it. And that's a spirit because of the deception that we've been born into, and because of the easy access to it. It's a harder spirit to get rid of now.
It's just a part of everyday life. It's just,
Literally.
you ain't doing it.
Sex sells. And so they sell the mess out of it.
Yeah.
Just a commercial.
Fair.
The music,
Oh, yeah. Fair use is for educational training purposes. Yeah.
the movies, the music, I mean, everything is about, sex. If you're not having sex, you ain't cool.
Right.
They turn it into an extracurricular activity.
Yeah.
Instead of what it's truly for.
Right. Which is for reproduction.
Yeah.
Male and female.
Which
Right.
you love.
Right.
Not just anybody.
Right. Married. Yeah. Wedded. Right. So, what did effeminate mean? Do y'all remember that one?
That was the
I have questions.
What's up?
Okay, when it talks about lust and fornication, didn't we cover a scripture some years ago about during your tithing season, what became time to if you want to not come to a temple?
Yeah, you turned it into money. Mhm.
You know, and it's strong drink and
Whatever your soul lusts after. It's not talking about having sex.
Didn't it say women now?
No, whatever your soul lusteth after. It's not talking about sex.
I just little things like that confuse me.
Okay.
like
Yeah.
the money and stuff like
Hmm.
that.
Right. Whatever like you desire, basically. That's not because you don't want to be coming to the temple of the Most High having sex, because that's what the heathen do, right? That's what they would do in the assembly. So no, it's not talking about sex there.
What he did is just correlate that word with just only sex. Lust is just whatever the heart desires.
I mean, you lust for money, you lust for clothes, cars.
The best car, the best
A
house.
stronger word of saying, desire. It's
Yep, desire.
It's just
Yep, good point. So, do y'all remember what effeminate mean?
I think it was something about
female
a kid,
being
sexual stuff, like being,
Sexual
being
stuff.
groomed.
Groom, basically.
I couldn't believe that.
Kind of, sort of. So, effeminate, right, meant soft. Soft got hair, right? Catamite is what meant that was a boy that was kept for sexual pleasures of a man. In a bad sense, right? Soft. Of a boy kept for homosexual relations with a man. Of a male who submits his body to unnatural lewdness. Of a male prostitute, right? These are people or characteristics of people that follow a different light. So, what is the light?
The most out.
the light is the law.
There you go. The Most High, right? John 1. John 1, we're going to read the first 5 verses. It says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was Yah. The same was in the beginning with Yah. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. So even before Yahushua's manifestation in this earth, right, he was known as the light of the world, right, or the way that you should follow, right? John 8. John 8, we're going to read verses 1 through 12. Who wants to read? Let's see if his message when he came here was different.
Yeshua went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple. And all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act.
So the subject matter of those first 4 verses was the woman was caught in what?
Adultery.
Adultery. So this does not have anything to do with multiple wives. Okay, just making sure because people try to make it there. All right, keep going.
But because she's married, that's with a married man, right?
Yes, she was there.
Right.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
So they're trying to catch Mashiach up, right?
Yeah.
Trying to be slick.
Yeah. This they said, tempting him that they might have to accuse him. But Yeshua stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground.
So is what Mashiach saying lawful?
Yeah. If you ain't doing nothing wrong, period, every day, then cast the first stone.
But is that why he said that though?
Well, he know the scribes and Pharisees are doing wrong also.
What'd you say, June?
So I don't know why he could have said it, but other than maybe it takes more than 2 to be an adulterer. Maybe that's
Right. So she was caught in the very act of
They
adultery.
want to do her wrong.
Right. Where's the man?
Yeah.
Right. So he already knew. There's already sin in your hands.
Yeah.
Right. Again, but he's the word made flesh. Right.
Because the man held higher than the woman.
Because we've been given authority like that. But again, if you get caught in adultery, both of them have to be put to death. Not just the one. Both. Right.
Yeah. You can't do one without the other.
But it's always
to the tangle. So
yeah, that's true. But even nowadays,
they would always go after
the woman always is worse than the man.
yeah, they would always
Always.
go after the woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about this man?
I seen a situation where a woman, and this is in an Arab country, but the law, same laws apply.
Right.
The real law.
So, it was her uncle who was married or something like that, and he went after her, and she told him no, and he took it, and then after he took it, she was wrong
Yeah.
because she let it happen, and
Yeah,
he
no.
stoned her.
Yeah, no, that's backwards. No.
See, that was like that, but
Excuse
at
me.
that time, that's what it was.
That still happens nowadays in the Middle East.
Yeah, that's not
Oh,
righteous.
Give it up, or she do give it up.
Yeah, you shouldn't be messing with your niece no way, and you definitely
You
shouldn't
can't
be
say
trying
no.
to rape nobody.
You can't give in and you can't say no.
Yeah,
And either way it go, you're gonna be dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
And at that time, in that law, there were as much as I would like to believe that there was nothing but good people.
Of course not, man. No, people been wicked and gonna continue to be wicked. That's why there's gonna be people outside of the kingdom that's made here on earth. Like they'll hear about it, they'll see it, but they won't be able to go there. Like, no, y'all wicked. Y'all ain't got no part in this place, right? And we're trying to make this kingdom, right? That's why we're reading the things or the attributes that we should not have, right? So keep going.
And they which heard it being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yeshua was left alone, and the woman was standing in the midst. When Yeshua had lifted up himself, and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Yeshua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Then spake Yeshua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
And so we have to be walking in Mashiach. The things that he did, the things that he taught. And another thing about this account about what happened to this woman that was caught in the act of adultery, this is also symbolic of what happened to us as a nation, right? We go whoring after other gods, and we think that these other nations that can be likened to men, right? They know that we are the Most High's through Mashiach, right? And they are the accuser of us. They've been accusing us. We've been in captivity. We stay in sin. We are literally shining their light instead of the light of the Most High. But the Most High is coming back to save us for a reason. And at that day, they won't be able to accuse us no more. Because what they did to Mashiach is what they've done to us. And whoever leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. So again, this is symbolic of what's going to happen in the future also as we get redeemed by Gaal, our kinsman redeemer, right? So he says that I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So let's see what else. This is all about Mashiach. Everything's always about Mashiach. Everything in the law, everything in Moses, everything points to Mashiach, right? Matthew 5. We're going to read verses 10 through 16, if you don't mind.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
So the kingdom of heaven is for those that are persecuted in wickedness, right?
Mm-hmm.
For wickedness' sake, right?
Mm-hmm. Being sarcastic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sarcasm. All right. Making sure we're paying attention. Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, the wrong one's gonna be there, yeah.
Huh?
That's right, yeah, the wrong one.
Man, what's going on here? What going?
All the politicians and judges, yeah. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
So now notice with this great awakening that's going on, right? We're waking up to who we are, and then a lot of us, we're not boisterous, and we're not, trying to, denounce everybody and call everybody crazy and say you're going to die and go to hell and this and that. But once you tell people that you've awakened to your identity, they start coming against you. Oh, you're a part of a cult. Oh, you ain't got no sense, this and that. But it's a blessing when that happens.
What makes you so much better than us?
Right. And there's nothing that makes us greater than anybody. The Most High chose a people, though. You can't avoid that. You cannot get around that. Right? But when you're striving for righteousness, right, it's a blessing when these things happen to you, right? You got to count it all joy. Keep going.
Rejoice. Say again, rejoice, and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Keep going.
Yeah.
You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
So Mashiach was so cold with it when he said that when the salt loses its savor, what is it good for? Except to be cast out and be trodden underfoot of men. But that's what happens in the time of the Gentiles. Jerusalem will be trodden down until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. We had lost our savor. We had lost our light. We lost track of Mashiach. We lost track of the Most High. Right? We started following everyone else's theologies, religions, gods, philosophies, sexual practices, idolatries, everything, right? We wanted to be Greek, Roman, and American instead of coming back to who we are, which is the Most High's. We are the lot of His inheritance. We are not of the world. We are the salt of the world. We're supposed to be different. We're supposed to be a light to the Gentiles, not as of the heathen, right? But traditions of man, and again, it's more comfortable to be like the world.
Because everybody's doing it.
Everyone's doing it. Oh, why you got to be different? Well, why don't you want to keep these holidays? And why do you want to do this and that? Well, why are you not having a birthday party? Why are you having a weaning ceremony? Like, because we're going back to the ancient ways, the ancient past, right? Because we don't do these things. We're different. Go ahead.
I got to stay around. When Saturday came around, right? And, we were in
Which is Christmas. Yep.
yeah, sorry. But I don't call it that anymore. But anyway, I digress. So my mom was telling my brothers how, we don't celebrate it, But my brother got mad, butthurt, and they brought my kids gifts and stuff like that. And he was like, all of a sudden, you don't celebrate these all of a sudden you don't celebrate this. And I forgot exactly what he said. There was some, choice words, yeah, expletives. And I sat there and looked at him. I said, we were raised Baptist. When did you become agnostic? I think you mentioned it like a year ago. So
Yikes.
What's the difference between you and me?
Yeah.
Other than I believe in something and I'm following it, and you believe in something and you're following it, which means there's no difference other than what we're following.
Yeah.
You're following you, I'm following after something else. I'm following after the truth. It is what it is. You don't like it, I don't like you.
Yeah, you can keep it pushing. Nah. Like it'd be crazy though, because it do be family, and then a lot of times they want to see if you're really about it, and if you're just going to hurry up and quickly cower and fall back into, well, everyone else is doing it for peace sake, I'm gonna do this. Like no. Because eventually, like when they see that you're consistent, they're gonna start asking questions, and they're just gonna start paying attention. Like okay. And then the next thing you know, they'll see a YouTube video or read a book or watch a movie and like, that's what you were talking about 5 years ago, yeah? And you call me crazy, you cuss me out, you make me feel bad, make me feel like I hate my family and this and that when that's not the case. Like, if you want to kick it, we can kick it, but I'm not kicking it for no doggone pagan holiday. Like, that's... And when I say that, there's nothing wrong with getting together, but if we're getting together and we're having a meal specifically because of Independence Day, I ain't having no parts in none of that, bro. Because that wasn't Independence Day for our people. At all. So I'm not going to disrespect my ancestors like that. Because since we know better, we're doing what? We're doing better, right? Keep going.
Ye are, this is 14, Matthew 5:10-16, this is 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Wait a minute. I thought he just said that I am the light of the world before.
But
Now he just said that you, talking about the salt of the earth. That's why, again, you're supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. You're supposed to be the example. But if you don't raise your children the right way so they can be an example, how can you be an example? If you're not teaching your family in righteousness, how can you be an example? If you're not striving to live that way, I'm not saying that you're going to be 100% perfect. I'm not saying that you're not going to make mistakes, but actually walking towards that thing, the actual light, you have to keep that momentum going. Because when you stop and you get complacent, you get comfortable. Once you get comfortable, sin is in the gap. Once you sin too long, you're into iniquity. Once you're into iniquity, that goes back to the third and fourth generations of those that hate the Most High. It's a perpetual cycle that you have to choose to stop. You have to keep going forward, even if it's alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just be you reading,
That's the
you
hardest part.
you meditating, you singing psalms or whatever by yourself because everyone else think that you're crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, over time, you start noticing that people are paying attention. I got different friends of mine or whatever end up telling me that, oh yeah, we're stopping to eat this, or we're not actually going to start. We're going to stop, celebrating these holidays. And I'm not even saying anything else to them. I'm just doing the best I can as I move forward, right? But again, right? But Mashiach said that you are also the light of the world. So when you think people aren't paying attention, they want to see if you're going to fall. They want you to fall. Because if you fall, they got you. If you fall, you back in sin, we don't ever become a nation. Right. Because that's what they really want to do. They want to pull you back to their level. Because moving forward is scary. Because they're still in outer and gross darkness. They can't see the light. All they can see is literally you shining. You don't realize there's a shine on you. Like, I don't know if y'all ever been told this, but certain Gentiles or whatever have told me different times, but there's a light on you. There's a glow around you. Like, once you keep going and you keep praying, Moses is literally the key or the example, right? Of course, it's about Mashiach, but you have to start from the milk, which is the law. Right, and Moses shows us the way how to get to Mashiach, right? But again, it's a daily thing, And it's a lot more about prayer and supplication that's really in this new Hebrew roots movement, right? Because a lot of it's just teaching, and it's not really prayer and supplication and fasting. And I'm telling y'all right now, we're about to start getting into that, because the stuff that's coming, we got to be mentally ready. What if we can't eat for a week to make sure our kids can eat and our spouses can eat? You know, we may be having to pull guard. We don't know. But a lot of this has to do with the Most High giving us the downloads that we need to survive, you know, to be able to have our enemies in our own hands, like when the times come, right? So again, this is a time of circumcising your heart so that that light can shine. This is about the true light, and this is about getting rid of those fake lights, them off-brand knockoff lights. It's time to let them go. It is time to let those other lights go. All this flirting around with different religions, crystals, always around people and talking to people that keep your mind in the gutter, keep your mind on the things that will not help you to inherit the kingdom. It's got to stop. It is that time, man. I'm telling y'all. I believe personally Trump's probably going to win this next election. But if he doesn't, y'all saw what happened January 6th.
Either way it goes,
Yeah, because it don't matter, because it's not a governor of ourself anyway. So, go ahead.
Was it 6 million, 60 million, 600 million?
350 million, 360, something like that.
And we the same two geriatrics?
Yeah, it's really insane. So, and this is what I was trying to tell some of my other friends I was talking to this past week. Oh, well, you got to vote so things will change. I'm like, look, we don't even get to pick the people that we vote for. Like, what are you talking about? So, where did the pool of people come from? We didn't choose it.
It's the electoral college.
They didn't put everybody that's of legal age to be a potential candidate. They told us, look, this 200 people is who you get to choose from. And then from there, it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Because it used to be had to be like 50-something years old. Now they're both 80-something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trump is 78 and Biden's I think Biden's like 80 or 81.
Yeah. They're like 4 years apart.
Well, then he's 82 then.
Yeah.
But Trump is definitely 78. But
Remember Clinton? They was like in their 50s, Bush was in his 50s. So why they gotta be so old now? Like
Because they're more susceptible.
it's not even that. It's not even that. It's to let you know that America is at its end, bro. They literally don't care no more. They don't even want to keep up the facade no more. They literally allowed for Joe Biden to come in president, and mentally, we all know he's not there.
I'm like,
That don't make sense, bro.
Biden's the president, but he can't even,
Keep sentences. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, so that's how you know that the powers that should not be, they were laughing like, yeah, hey Joe, it's your time. Yeah, they wait. They don't wait when he has his full mental faculties. They wait until it's pretty much halfway there at best.
And embarrass him.
And makes America an embarrassment. This is to show you that they are done dealing with the social experiment of America.
And like you said, they don't even care about cutting it up.
No, what's the point?
So many people is already just brainwashed into it, just still, they can stop the presidency and then, people will be like, well, I guess, okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's keep going with it.
Because people have pledged allegiance to political affiliations, bro.
I used to be a Republican, then I thought about being a Democrat, but it don't matter, bro.
It don't.
matter at all. They all do the same stuff. They lie to your face just to get voted in, and they do their own agendas. That's what they do.
Bro, the smear campaigns,
No president, no sitting president has ever been able to do anything without Congress to say so. The president is only a face. They had the president, as far as I understand, the president has like 3 major abilities. 1, veto. 2, go to war, and 3, nuclear strike. And even that has to be passed.
Yeah, and even with that, man. So president, because like that word is in the scriptures. That word means administrator to the king. So
Who's the king behind them?
who's the royal family?
Yeah.
They're chosen to be a president in a land where the king does not reside or rules over the people.
Yeah, exactly. Because so it's everything is deeper than that. And then we know that there's secret societies that are running things even behind that facade. So again, the reason why these two old men are the presidential candidates is because they're done with America. Like, there may not be another president after this next one. There may not.
Hope not.
But keep going.
Starting over at 15 or continuing on from 15.
You're on 15. Mhm.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
So you're not supposed to be hiding the light that you are. And, you know, coming into this walk, I'm not saying you got to just be out there just crazy and a fanatic and all this other kind of craziness, but people should know, oh, he different. There's something different about him. Like, people should at least be able to tell that much. Like, what he got going on? What is it? And you're not supposed to hide the light, which is Mashiach, which is the testimony of Mashiach, right? Which is the what? The spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Mashiach, right? It's the law and the testimony. So knowing these things, it's imperative that you continue to cultivate the light that is in you, because it is Mashiach and it's the light that's to the world. Unless you don't want to be able to judge the world, because we just read in 1 Corinthians 6 that we're supposed to. Boy, you said I'm judging them right now. But no, that is a blessing that's given to those that can endure until the end. Again, this whole thing is about light. Go ahead.
Oh, continue.
Mm-hmm.
So let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Going back to 14, when he said, "You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid." Did he not also say, "When I leave, I'm leaving you my gifts"? Or I'm paraphrasing. Did he not say you have the same gifts that I have? You can do
Yeah, he said you would do greater works. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is more of a preface to that, is it
Mm-hmm.
not?
Mm-hmm. Because we're supposed to, though. Like, when I was showing y'all that stuff about what was that guy's name? Simon, was that Simeon Toku, right? Greater works, though. And you don't even hear about him really in the mainstream. There was another guy named Simon also. I haven't really got to show y'all that guy either. Also, but when you really get to prayer and supplication, your light will shine even brighter. This is the time, especially for us, prayer and supplication. Go ahead, bro.
We got a question. Rafini wants to know, since Shalom family, so does a wife stop teaching and mentoring the youth because it disturbs the husband's peace?
No, I mean, so you still have to honor your husband. He is your head. You're gonna have to deal in wisdom, though. You should always be training them up in the way that they should go. Yeah. So.
Well, what if you don't know the word like she do?
Well, then you have to tactfully and really expertly get him to start reading.
Yeah.
And only thing you can do, because Paul talks about that, you just have to keep being that light in your family. And for the disbeliever and unbelieving spouse, then the Most High will draw them to that light. Because again, this is still all about light. So keep reading, keep being the example. And if there's things that you know that you have to purge them out first. And then the Most High will bring him along even further. Because if you're not completely purging everything, that's why there's so much of a battle between you and the husband. Because you could be saying one thing, but then it's not lining up 100%.
But also
Right.
do it without trying to embarrass the husband.
Yeah. You can't be, and you got to submit yourself to your husband. The husband has to submit to his wife, but you got to come in a humble spirit. You can't be trying, like the brother was saying, trying to embarrass him, or y'all get into heated debates and yelling and screaming and cussing. Like, you have to humble yourself first. And then through that humility, the Most High will save him or allow him to see that light in a pure sense. Right? Good? Okay. So we read this one, right? Mm-hmm. So who's watching this live? Is that you, June? Turn your volume up. Okay, I'm about to so we're supposed to be shining the light, right? So we're going to see if these examples are examples of people shining the light of the Most High. If it'll let me get over there, why is it not? It's not switching for me. I don't know what they can see or not. Huh? Hold on. I don't know why I did that. Hold on. Go back. And slide. Okay. Here we go.
Of one of the largest churches in the Dallas area is responding to allegations that he molested a child in the 1980s. Robert Morris, who preaches at Gateway Mega Church, admitted he engaged in inappropriate sexual behavior, but he says he sought forgiveness and counseling. Reporter Matt Houston spoke with his accuser, who questions whether he is truly repentant.
Cindy Clemishire read from Genesis Sunday.
As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today.
That's the 54-year-old's prayer, that her story would bring about some good. She accuses Gateway Church pastor Robert Morris of molesting her from 1982 to 1987. The first time, she says, she was 12. Morris, a family friend, was in his early 20s, already married, already preaching.
The story is gut-wrenching when I read it on paper, and I've been sharing for years. So it just happens to be God's time, I think, for it to come to light.
In a statement, Morris admits to inappropriate sexual behavior with a young lady, though he did not reference her age. It was kissing and petting, he said, and not intercourse, but it was wrong. In 1987, Clemishire says she told a family friend who told her to tell her parents.
He didn't come forward and confess. He was turned in. And when someone's turned in, what are they sorry for? Are they sorry because they got caught, or are they truly repentant of what they did?
That's why she takes issue with Gateway Church elders who say Morris followed proper biblical steps and a lengthy restoration process. She says her family forgave Morris, but never gave him their blessing to preach again. Morris claims they did.
I think that leaders can get caught up in feeling like it's our responsibility to protect God, and it's not. Their responsibility is to protect the people.
Gateway Church elders say since the resolution of this 35-year-old matter, there have been no other moral failures. Pastor Robert has walked in purity and has placed accountability measures and people in his life. The matter's been properly disclosed to church leadership.
That's Old Testament verse. Let me show you a New Testament verse.
Morris did not preach Saturday. He'd already announced plans to turn over church leadership to his son next spring, though he said he would continue preaching some. In Tarrant County, I'm Matt Houston.
That's a good way to be showing the light of the Most High.
Not at all.
And this happens so much.
A lot.
Parents, please be paying attention and listening to your children. Don't think that they just be saying crazy off the wall stuff like that. Yeah. A child should never be saying, oh, this pastor, this man touched me inappropriately for no reason. Yeah. You got to look into that thing. So that was one. We got another.
Of one of the largest churches in the Dallas area is responding to allegations that he molested a child in the 1980s. Of one of the largest churches in the Dallas area is responding to allegations that he molested a child in the 1980s. Robert Morris, who preaches at Gateway Mega Church,
Tonight, this former local pastor, Aner Javier Maldonado, is behind bars accused of sexually abusing underage girls. This is Nightside. I'm Carolina Lee.
And I'm Dave Wagner. The convicted felon has been deported multiple times. He led churches in 3 Pinellas County cities.
Tonight, only on 10 Tampa Bay, one local woman tells us how her life was devastated, and her parents say they feel horrible for trusting their religious leader. Pastor Javier Maldonado tonight behind bars in the Pinellas County Jail, accused of sexually assaulting underage girls. A dynamic orator who led the now closed Iglesia Jesucristo es mi refugio in Clearwater, Pinellas Park, and Largo.
I was young. I was really, really young.
This 20-year-old we'll call Ana because she wants to hide her identity, says she was one of his victims. Her family were active members of his church.
We had a dance group, and it was a lot of girls, and he would just tell me that I was the prettiest one there.
Ana says the grooming started when she was just 12 years old, then the sexual abuse at 15.
It wasn't for long, but it was something that my brain couldn't perceive because it just happened so quick. Them just leaving, me being left alone with him, me thinking nothing's gonna happen.
Ana says the abuse continued for years until she told her parents. Maldonado has been on the run for years, finally getting caught in Texas and extradited back here to Florida. The 46-year-old is facing several felony charges tonight, including lewd or lascivious molestation and unlawful sexual activity with a minor.
Do you think this happened to other girls? Yeah, I'm just sure they're afraid to speak about it now. So many years has passed that some people just really want to get along with their life and not ever speak about it.
Law enforcement deported Maldonado to Honduras 3 times in 1999, 2008, and 2017 for being in the country illegally and drug possession. Ana says this time he needs to stay behind bars here.
After 8 years, 9 years, still doing this. And honestly, I never thought this case was going to go into trial. Because I really, sometimes as Hispanics, you think that they're not going to take you as seriously just because of your race. It doesn't matter where he's at, he's still going to continue to do it because that's just how he is.
Maldonado is facing 25 to 45 years in prison if convicted on these current charges. Tonight, this former local
Now to a very disturbing story. A local pastor is in jail accused of sexually assaulting a family member several hundred times. And court documents say it happened in parking lots in 2 local churches. ABC 13's Giovanni Ligi is live from the Harris County Jail tonight, breaking down everything we know. Giovanni?
Well, court documents showing this sexual assault started when this little girl was just 7 years old. It lasted for almost a decade, and at one point, he even got her pregnant. 39-year-old Robert Carter is the man police said sexually assaulted his own family member. Documents showing this happened over the span of a decade, at least 600 times. Now he's in jail for continuous sexual abuse of a child. Court documents showing the victim told police the assault would happen almost nightly. And when she turned 16, the documents showing he got her pregnant. The documents showing she had the baby in a closet, and he then took it to a nearby fire station. Some of the details in these documents are too graphic to show. Investigators accusing Carter of doing this at multiple locations. It started in 2008 when the child was only 7 years old. He would offer to give her candy in exchange for sexual acts. Investigators saying he would do this when other family members were sleeping, telling the child if she told anyone, nobody would believe her. The victim telling investigators it would happen at the church he worked at in Sunnyside, in the back of this Summerwood HEB parking lot before he would take her to school, and when she was older, at another church nearby where she refused. The documents showing that he told her if she didn't do what he asked, he would make her life a living hell. And now, more than a decade after this assault started, Carter is here in jail, held on a $100,000 bond, due back in court tomorrow.
Now to a very disturbing.
Southern Baptist leaders say that they will release a secret list of hundreds of pastors and staff members accused of sexual abuse.
The announcement comes after a scathing 288-page report detailed how the committee missed
Southern Baptist leaders say that they will release a secret list of hundreds of pastors and staff members accused of sexual abuse.
The announcement comes after a scathing 288-page report detailed how the committee mishandled sex abuse allegations and stonewalled numerous survivors. One of those survivors is a woman from Jacksonville. News 4 Jax reporter Bree Isom joins us live tonight. And Bree, you've been digging through this report.
Yes, and it was honestly a tough report to read. You know, the woman says in the report that she was traumatized after this happened, and she tried to tell executives, but they wouldn't listen to her.
Jude is the Lord coming down with 10,000 saints.
The report states 44 women had reported to being victims of Daryl Gilliard, who was a pastor at First Baptist Church of Jacksonville. It lists one of the survivors of abuse by Gilliard being a woman from Jacksonville, Tiffany Thigpen, who had looked up to Gilliard as a pastor and friend. The report states that in the spring of 1991, after a meeting at the church, Gilliard attacked Thigpen and attempted to rape her, but she fought back and escaped. According to the report, Gilliard had been grooming Thigpen with late-night phone calls and promises of a summer job in Texas. According to the report, she was terrified and traumatized, so her and her mother went to an executive at the church to talk about the attack. The executive, named as Dr. Jerry Vines in the report, was dismissive of her claims and told her that it would be embarrassing if others knew about it. In the report, some executives with the Southern Baptist Convention called Daryl Gilliard a woman squeezer. It goes on to say people would call and report abuse to executives and that they would tell the people who called not to talk about it or wouldn't return their calls. Gilliard later went on to work at churches in Oklahoma and Texas where allegations resurfaced. The report says Thigpen wrote a letter to the bylaws work group in 2019 stating how Gilliard was allowed to move from church to church with prominent SBC figures vouching for him. No one on the bylaws work group responded to the letter. Thigpen also made a submission to the Credentials Committee as well. She says the process has taken an emotional toll, writing, quote, "Imagine telling for decades to a non-receptive audience, to an audience who abuses you with their shame and their hateful words against you." Pretty powerful words in that report. Now, we did get a statement from the First Baptist Church of Jacksonville from Dr. Heath Lambert, who's the senior pastor there. He says, "I am horrified and saddened by the abuse and cover-up of abuse that was chronicled in the SBC sex abuse report. That is particularly true of the abuse of a precious former member of First Baptist Church 30 years ago. It is sinful and wrong to abuse any human being, to counsel abuse victims to remain silent, and to protect abusers from exposure. The leadership of our church today demands strict screening of all staff and volunteers, strictly enforces policies protecting innocent people, and requires all accusations of abuse to be reported to the authorities. I call on any person involved in abuse or concealing abuse to confess this sin and seek reconciliation with those they have wronged." I'm reporting live in downtown Jacksonville tonight. Bree Isom, Channel 4, the local station.
Well, how do you make this situation right?
So, because my bad, Raffini, I forgot to plug the mic back in. But you can blame the pastor and the individual doing it, but I want to blame that whole administration and leadership, because this society of cover-ups, of secrets, it's got to die.
Bro, it starts from the government on down.
Because those societies are not going to make it into the kingdom. Yeah. If you're covering up sin and you're not openly rebuking it, you ain't going to make it in there, man. Yeah. Like that type of wickedness, raping, grooming, pedophile behavior, homosexual behavior, none of that's going to enter into the kingdom. That's a different light. That's a false light. And especially y'all that have daughters, man, like, y'all better be cognizant of who your daughters is around. People that think that they holy, like, oh, he's a pastor, so we can trust him. No. And you better try that spirit, because he that is spiritual judges all things. You better judge. You better have discernment. Ain't nobody got time for that, because like y'all said, you ain't going to need 911. Brandon said he got a 1911.
That's just me, though. I mean, they don't do nothing until after something's been committed anyway, so. I'm gonna go ahead and get you up out of here.
You going to get him up out of there?
They're not in the business of prevention, they're in the business of cleaning up after. I guess what Finney said something.
Yeah, that's why I just plugged it back in. She should be able to hear us now.
It's sad to say, but the same thing is going on in the school house.
Probably.
Yeah, same things are going to schools. Yeah, keep on listening.
Why these kids are so disrespectful and angry.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably happening at home.
Yeah, it's happening at home. Because mama too scared to say nothing. Because daddy coming in there molesting them, or uncle. You know, like, this secret, keeping secrets culture's got to die, man. Like, we as a people, our children deserve better than that.
Man, we know what happened in families.
Huh?
We know what happened.
Yeah, all these family little secrets.
Bring that stuff to light and get that out.
You got to bring that stuff to what?
To light.
Okay.
What they say, everything that's done in darkness.
And we'll come to the... So this whole thing, and this is like, some of the guys were doing it on their own, but a lot of these guys had systems set up. So if he was doing it, then other people were doing it and getting away with it also.
Because they had people shaming the victims.
Because they had shaming, and because that position, people, that's a position of power.
All those dudes shaming that woman right there in front of you.
Right. That's... Keep on. Keep on.
They're shaming this woman. Okay, well, if who she spoke, what he spoke, all right, y'all say this, okay, then do this. Yeah. They all walked away.
Right. Because there wasn't a righteous person to stand up for them. Because, again, like when you got kids, especially daughters, man, you got to be extra vigilant. Oh, man, you can't be overly nice to them. You got to be on. Go ahead.
I've heard that scripture, I don't know how many times. I never did think about the man. He was never there.
Yeah, because they said that that's why I went to that one. They said he was caught. I see him walking in the very act. Oh, get it, young king, get it. Get it, young king. Look at you. Walking. Okay. Oh, he walking back. He got excited. Hey, my bad. He got up and really walking and cheesing. Yeah, okay. But again, so this whole thing is about light, right? Man, let me keep going.
Southern Baptist.
So, you talked about the law, right? So we're going to go to Psalms 40. And I know people want you to jump to the New Testament, but we got to get from the milk to the meat. So we still learn from Mashiach, but we got to be rooted in Torah. Because Torah is the... So, Psalms 40, verses 6 through 9. Who got it?
I got it. Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire. Mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required.
Because it was never good enough anyway.
Then said I, Lo, I come. In the volume of the book it is written of me.
Who's that? It's written of who? Mashiach, right.
I delight to do thy will, O my God. Ye, thy law is within my heart. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips. O Elohim, thou knowest.
So do you think those that are in the leadership of that Southern Baptist, whatever, where this was going, he's going to different churches, and you keep getting these same reports, you think they would treat preaching righteousness? No. Do you think that the law of the Most High was really hidden in their heart?
No.
Because it's a daily thing. That's why you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You got to keep reading it, because he's going to reveal more and more. It's like an onion, peeling in layers, more and more and more. So we're in Psalms, right? We're going to Psalms 119, the longest book in the book, right? We're going to read verses 105 and then verses 140 through 142. Who got it? Brandon. Brandon got it. Brandon got it. Uh-huh.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path.
So what does that mean?
That means it guides my feet. Thy word is very pure, therefore thy servant loveth it. Break that one down too.
Keep on.
I am small and despised, yet do not I forget thy precepts. I'm small.
So he's like, I'm nothing. You know, people hate me, but I'm not going to forget the things that you taught me in your word, in your light, in your truth.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
So what is the truth?
The law.
And we did Mashiach, which is he's the word of the law made flesh. So the law is a lamp, it's a light, and it's the truth. So when people try to get you to get away from that, they don't know what they're talking about. As always, we're in Psalms. We're going to Psalm 7. If it's a load. And we're reading verses 7 through 11. Brandon's trying to get rid of it quick. Hot potato. Verses 7 through 11.
The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Most High is sure, making wise the simple.
So what converts your soul?
The law of the Most High.
Right. So when scriptures say, be you converted, you got to know. I got to read about the conversion. I got to read about the circumcising of the heart to learn from the mistakes of our ancestors and the successes of them. Right? Keep going.
The statutes of the Most High are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Most High is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Most High is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Most High are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb.
Now, why would David have Psalms talking about how much more valuable or how much more you should value the law and how sweet it should be to you? If it's such a bad thing, if it's something that's not attainable.
Well, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
Right.
You should believe what lifestyle is.
Right. So what you have to start doing is, we talk about transforming your mind or renewing your mind. You have to start changing your mind.
Yeah.
You have to think about the Most High's law in a delightful manner, right? Because you're different. You're the salt of the earth. So we like how salt tastes on food, right?
Yeah.
Right. So when you're eating that word, you got to come at it with that perspective. Like, man, yeah, this is about to be some good eating right here. This is seasoned to perfection. Perfection now, right? Go ahead.
Did you? That's something I just peeped, right? Okay, so I'm gonna read this again. All right, I'm gonna go at 9. Fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. I'm gonna stop right there. Did anybody pay attention to what just happened? Other than
Sweeter
did y'all
than
not
honey.
catch the rhymes, the bars?
Yeah, you know he rap, bro. Where do you think rap came from?
I'm just saying, like,
So-
when I say, dude, I'm sitting there listening to him read, and I'm like, hold on, like,
That's where they got it from, bro. Like,
yeah.
so what would happen is, like, they wouldn't have, like, the way it is all professional looking now. Somebody will be coming with a beat. The Spirit will come down upon a prophet, or David was a prophet, and prophecies will come out. Songs will come out of them. But like there's different accounts, especially in Josephus, when, like, whenever they had to hear from the Most High, he'd be like, hey, bring the people that are going to play music. So they'd be playing and praying and beating. So they start praising the Most High. Next thing you know, the Spirit will come down. Hey, don't go over there. The Most High said he's going to deliver these people into your hand over here. They would do that, they would be saved. If they wouldn't listen to it, they'd be slaughtered. But literally, what they call rap is literally poems written to music. Like, so he would already have the song in his heart, and then they would give him a beat, and the next thing you know, that's it.
No, I'm just saying, I just never know, like, that's dope.
Pure, true, righteous all together.
Rap is always an acronym of poetry.
Forever all together. Gold, honey.
Yeah, man. There's nothing new under the sun, man.
Nothing new.
And
Going back to verse 7, converting the soul, like lot of different religions. They do convert. You have to convert to be a
Facts. To be a Jewish person, you have to convert.
And let's look at it at a physical flesh, aspect. This is converting the soul.
Soul. This is
spiritual aspect.
So this is that real soul food.
It's deeper than that.
It's definitely deeper than that. Verse 11. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. So that's why they want you to think that the law is a curse, because they don't want you to ever receive your reward. Your reward is important, and it's with him. All right, Proverbs 6. Come on, slow. Verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, we read that, and the law is light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life, right? We read that. So I'm just showing y'all adjectives of what the law is, right? Romans 7, verse 12 and 14. Therefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. Only good things, right? Verse 14, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, so under sin. That's why you have to be converted, right? Because even though the law is spiritual, if you're just looking at it at the carnal mind, you'll never really get fed. You won't really understand anything.
Too hard to understand.
Way too hard to understand. Huh? You won't get filled up. So I was going to go back to Jeremiah 10, but we're going to make this one short. So I'm going to skip this. And we're going to go to Exodus 34. This is a short lesson today. he got the mic. Exodus 34, right? And we're going to read. Who wants to read? Now, this is why I'm saying that Moses is the example of what we have to do to truly be the light. Huh? What? Huh? The mac and cheese and the... Oh, yeah, that's with the rotisserie chicken I got in the microwave.
Oh, okay.
So we can eat.
Just check.
Yeah. Huh? Okay, thank you. Yeah. Exodus 34, go ahead.
And the Most High said unto Moses, hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first. And I will write upon these tables the words that were in the first tables which thou breakest. And be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present thyself there to me in the top of the mountain. And no man shall come up with thee, neither let any man be seen throughout all the mountain. Neither let the flocks nor herds feed before the mountain.
So why is Moses up here, about to go up to the Most High? Y'all remember what happened?
To put tables together so he can write the
Why? But why does he have to put tables together?
So he can write the commandments.
To be written on.
Huh?
To be written on.
Because Israel was moving out of order.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Oh.
What was it?
Israel was moving out of order.
Oh, yeah.
Because what happened before? Moses, he went up.
Golden image, the golden calf, whatever.
Right. They were worshiping that golden calf. Right. So he was going, how long was he going that first time?
40 days.
40 days and 40 nights, right? Okay. So make sure we're together. Okay.
This is when the incense and he burnt up all the people. Just then.
Something like that. Yeah. Or when he opened up the earth and swallowed them up?
Before I finish reading, I have a question. When it says, neither let the flocks nor herds feed before that mountain, did he mean at the bottom of the mountain? Or did he mean...
Yeah. He said what he said. Exactly what he said. Don't look. Nobody better come up here but you. Because if you would have came up there, you was going to die. Moses was the only one that can come out there after all that transgression and iniquity that had just taken place. Okay. So don't even let the animals come up there, because they was probably doing some weirdo stuff too. Right. Mm-hmm.
And he hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first. And Moses rose up early in the morning and went up into Mount Sinai as the Most High had commanded him, and took in his hand the 2 tables of stone. The Most High descended in the cloud and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of the Most High. I am the Most High, passed by before him, and the Most High passed by before him, and proclaimed the Most High, Yah, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth.
Man, he's so merciful, right?
Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will be by no means clear the guilty. Okay. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and the fourth generation.
So with what the videos that we just saw, we know that the Most High is not forgiving none of that stuff that didn't happen. Like, even if they don't necessarily get it at their end, third and fourth generation, because a lot of that stuff's going to get passed down to their children, right? That's why it's so important to be praying for the forgiveness of your sins and for the sins of your ancestors. Confessing what sins that you know about, even those family secrets. Confess those things, get those things off of you, and move forward. The times that we're coming in, prayer and supplication. Reading also, because you'll get so used to watching stuff on YouTube that you won't read anything, and then next thing you know, you'll be talking to people, and they'll get you to start thinking like, I don't really got to read anything. You have to. That's what converts your soul. That's what's going to save you. It's literally going to have to be hidden in your heart for the times that's coming. I can't express that enough, man. I'm telling y'all, man, when the stuff really hits the fan, no internet, no nothing, and we trying to figure out everything else as a tribe.
Okay, but when it comes to reading, like, how did, like, people like me, like, I don't even know where to start, because I know what the Bible
Start at Genesis 1. Genesis 1. And even if you just start with 2 to 3 chapters a day, that's it. I'm not saying read a whole book in one day, but start. That way you get some knowledge, and then you will start falling asleep, and the Most High will just start showing you stuff. You'll start hearing His voice, you know. And then when certain situations come up, you won't even be interested. Like, yeah, man, I'm really changing. That ain't even appealing to me no more. Like, I don't even have the lust or the desire for those type of things anymore.
I've already been doing that.
Yeah, you have. You definitely have. I've seen a lot of growth. A lot of growth, right? Keep going.
And Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worshipped.
So like he just said, Moses took his time and decided to finally, give the Most High some time, right?
What? He bowed his head to the earth and worshipped?
Like I said, like he took his time and finally made some time to be with the Most High.
He worshipped.
Yeah, after some time, he made time for the Most High at his own time and schedule, and right? We are in agreement. What does make haste mean? Fast. He didn't take his time. That was a quick thing. It was a quick turnover. Like the Most High told him, "Hey."
That's why I didn't agree, bro.
I was wondering why you said something about going slow.
I was just wondering because I got to make sure people are actually paying attention to what's being read.
Pause, and I'm looking back like something happened. Like
you just said, like, time is now.
No, like you got to grab this thing now, right?
When he said move, you move.
Just like that.
And he grabbed it and he went up there just like that.
Just like that. Got the rap, and that's how it happened. He said what he said.
Stone tables though, not tablets, tables. And he carried them up a mountain.
Had to. And this is after a 40-day fast. Don't mention that. No food or water after 40 days already.
I ain't gonna talk about my back problems no more.
Bruh.
He had all the strength he needed.
Look.
But Moses was a warrior, so he was
yeah, but still, a 40-day fast on food and no water in the wilderness? What you talking about?
And he couldn't take a goat or nothing up there to eat on.
He wasn't eating no nothing. Couldn't get no Chick-fil-A.
Well, when you get to the Most High, you ain't gonna eat no food, though. He couldn't even take a goat to help carry the table. I know, a mule or something.
Because there was nothing clean enough after all that wickedness that happened. Only Moses could carry that. It's crazy. So then he made haste and bowed his head. So the thing about conversion of the soul and the thing about the light is it literally can transform you. That's why it says, be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. A transformation happens, but that's why the law is spiritual, and you have to be able to have your spiritual eyes to discern certain things. So we're going to look at something here in a second. Go ahead.
And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Most High,
let my Lord, let my Master,
I pray thee, go among us, for it is stiffness.
We're still
stiff-necked people.
Yes, we are.
And pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance.
Well, Moses, man, meekest man on the earth, boy. After all that, still like standing in the gap for the people, man. After all that wickedness, bruh. The Most High was, I'm about to consume them in a moment. Like, man, what you talking about? All right, because you got to think the Most High is complete power, energy, right? Like, and you want to anger that?
That's why I don't understand like the people who did all that. Like, you know, you've seen some of the miracles and you still want to act like that.
Bro, but they came out of America. I mean, Egypt. They came out of bondage, and so their mind wasn't gone.
Wait. Did you?
He said America.
Yeah. So I was just reading something literally like today's okay, so it's Thursday. I was reading something. It said there are more mummies in America than ever were. They were actually transferred
More pyramids
from
too.
here to to there
And larger
to
pyramids.
look like that's where they were.
That's why we can't go in the Grand Canyon.
And that giant.
Yeah, because the Grand Canyon leads to Africa and all that.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still connected or if it's a portal, but I know there's something hidden in the Grand Canyon. Yeah. We can't. That's why they want us to feel like, oh, we're so far apart. Oh, no, we're not.
That's why you got to fly to Africa from California or somewhere all the way around the world. You know, so go to the Grand Canyon, you get there in a couple of days. Or less than that.
Everything is a lie.
Yes,
bro. Even that flight passes, they don't.
It's all about money.
They even said that there has never been like a bondage or slavery like that in Egypt, except for us that went into the transatlantic slave trade. America. That's really crazy.
They did have slaves back then, but it wasn't like it was with Egypt or America.
Keep going, because like I said, I'm making.
And he said, behold, I make a covenant. Before all thy people I will do marvels, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among which thou art, shall see the work of the Most High. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. Observe thou that which I command thee this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee.
So if we'd have read the rest of Jeremiah 10, you would have learned like that the pastors were leading the people astray, and so that's what was going to happen to the nation because of all the leading them astray, worshiping other gods, and all that wickedness, right? And the Most High, He tells us not ever to do that, especially not making covenants and allegiances. Like the fact that they used to make us do it every morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm not into all that.
Y'all don't trust it? Only because it says.
That's programming. Like that. That's MK Ultra.
They still say under God. You know, I mean, it seems kind of good.
Which one?
Yeah, I know.
But it says the republic first.
Yeah.
Right. For the republic for which it stands, right?
But ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves.
So when people be having statues of the fake Messiah, Mother Mary, the alleged, Pope Peter and all this stuff, we're not supposed to be having that. We're supposed to be breaking them things down. Because you erect that image, people are going to start worshiping it. That's just human nature. That's why He said, do not have molten or graven images. But this nation and most of the world just want to stay in sin, want to stay ignorant. They don't care. It's a different light, right? And we're trying to be transformed. There's a transformation that happens when you read and when you pray and supplicate yourself to the Most High. Keep going.
For thou shalt worship no other Elohim, for the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous Elohim. Mm-hmm. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their Elohims, and do sacrifice unto their Elohims, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice. And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their Elohims, and make thy sons go a whoring after their Elohim.
That's why you got to be careful with who you marry. Even if you marry a woman from another nation, if she worshiping a different Elohim or God or whatever, and ain't willing to follow you, leave that alone. That's not for you.
It's going to be the arguments all the time.
Yeah, and then you got two, she could be doing rituals and all this other kind of crazy. You got two different spirits, lights, battling each other.
In the same house.
In the same households. Literally, leave that alone. So he said that. So what is the first and greatest commandment?
Put no other God before him.
other gods before him and accept him as your one true.
Right. Now let's read that from Mashiach. We're going to go to the 22nd book of Matthew. And Jim, read verses 34 through 40.
But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put this...
Is that mic on?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the
Sadducees
to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
Now this is what y'all just said. In Mashiach's words, though.
And Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahuwah thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great command.
So how can you love him if you're not getting in there to really overstand? Because that's his law, that's his words, that's his commandments and statutes, right? So when you're loving him, you're not going to erect these false gods and idols, and you're not going to cover up all of this sin and iniquity. You're not going to be up there allowing this man to just be going around raping everybody in there and covered up. No one's going to listen to you. You don't want to say that. You're going to tarnish our image. What about his image? Right? People worried about that and worried about the wrong type of things. That's how you know that's a different light. But again, loving the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul, it means you got to meditate in the Word. And meditating in the Word doesn't mean that, like, again, that you're reading like 100 scriptures a day. You might just meditate on one scripture that whole day. It might just be that, just to really get it hidden in your heart. But it starts, and you have to keep it going. But you still got to take that first step, just like every child. Just like he's doing right now. Taking those first steps and keep moving.
Once you take that first step, like, you'll be filled with a hunger for more.
Right.
It will become your food. You will hunger for his word.
Literally. And then you'll know more than people that have been in there like 20, 30 years. When they think they know something, you're like, no, where'd you get 3 wise men? Show me that. That ain't even in there. What are you talking about? That ain't even in there.
He said, where you get 3 wise men?
Yeah.
And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
So that means that all the law and the prophets, and actually the Psalms, can be put into one of those 2 categories. If you love your neighbor as yourself, you're not going to let no child go through that madness. You're not going to be grooming no child to be a catamite. You're not going to be grooming nobody to be no prostitute. You're not going to be forcibly, committing adultery like that. Loving your neighbor as yourself. Sometimes you just got to tell them to their face, man, you wicked. You're a devil. You're a deceiver. You're a pedo. You're a predator. You ain't got no business being here. Because, like, when you hide those type of sins, you have blood on your hands. What if one of them women committed suicide? Or one of them, maybe it was a boy child too. That's on your hand because you ain't standing up, being righteous, shining the appropriate light. Because you're not really being transformed. You're going to get a word, you're not reading anything, right? Yourself. So now, so we can finish up. Back to Exodus 34. And we're only going to read verses, I believe, 27 through 35. 27 through 35.
Thou shalt make thee no molten gods.
So verse 17, my bad. So you shall not make a molten image of anything. Don't worship nobody. The Most High said, not even him. So don't make anything. We don't need it. He's inside of you, right? So I got a question for you. What does a horn represent? Do y'all remember?
Kingdom, like power.
Kingdom power. Perfect. So the word horn is Karen or Kirin. Horn or heel, like you said, like a power, right? So horn of strength, flask, horn of musical, or horn-like projections on the altar, right? So we're going to read Psalms 18 really quick, verses 1 through 3. And it says, I will love you, O Yahuwah, my strength. Yahuwah is my rock and my fortress. and my Gaal, my deliverer, my Alua, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. I will call upon Yahuwah, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. Right? Gaal, to save you from your enemies, a horn of salvation. That's what the Most High is. That's what Mashiach is. That's what Moses was, right? Horns of salvation. Back to Exodus 34. Who's reading? Go ahead, June.
And the Most High said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. Mm-hmm. And he was there with the Most High 40 days and 40 nights.
Again.
He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments.
Now, it don't take 40 days to write 10 Commandments down. So he was getting revelations of what's going to happen throughout the world, how wicked our people was going on, and he's just in the presence of the Most High, right? Because we know that before the Most High told him, and you come up here, you bring the 2 tables, Moses quickly bowed down and worshiped the Most High, right? He made it a quick thing to do, right? So now we're going to go to verse 29.
And it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, and with the 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him.
So Moses didn't realize that his skin was shining, right? Okay, keep going. Mm-hmm.
And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh.
Keep going.
Did he say he had horns coming out of his head from seeing Moses?
Keep going.
And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them. And afterward, all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that the Most High had spoken with him in Mount Sinai.
So, question. If you see the light shining on somebody, how scared are you going to be? Like,
It's something different.
is something wrong? Like, wait.
What is that?
Yeah, what's going on?
What happened?
Where are the strings at?
Is it contagious? Like,
Yeah.
Especially if you've been living unlawful, you're going to be like, man, what is that right there?
Do you have one of the Bible apps where they have, you can pull up the lexicon for a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me pull it up.
Okay, good.
Emanating.
So, what you said, Jeremiah, because I just want to make sure you can pull it up himself. So I showed y'all 4 of the definitions of light there, right? Curing. I'm about to show y'all another definition of it that's in there.
Okay, what verse we're going to?
That was Exodus 34 and 29. Shone. S-H-O-N-E.
Okay, Exodus 34, verse 29.
Yeah.
S-H-O-N-E.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got it.
What does it say?
I am looking at Quran,
Mm-hmm.
and it says 1, to shine, A, to send out rays,
Right.
B, to display or grow horns, D, horns.
To grow horns.
I know.
So then when you look at the word again, it literally says shine 3 times, has horns. So I was like, that's a little weird. So
That's scary, bro.
yeah. So the first usage according to the Jacinius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon says to push with horns apparently. Now they try to speak against it. Underneath it, it says absurdly rendered by the Vulgate when painters represent Moses as having horns. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So real quick.
That's almost nuclear, bro.
So in ancient times, if you are a king or a divinity, they would always draw you with horns. That's just how it was. So I'm pulling up these different. I'm gonna pull up better images here in a second. So I'm just showing you that. So these are some depictions I think this is from Michelangelo of Moses. Horns. Look at all these different pictures of Moses with horns.
That's crazy.
Horns. So again, Moses goes up there twice for 40 days and 40 nights, no food, no water, around nothing but energy. So he went through a literal transformation. Maleficent, horns, all of these different cartoons and movies, you see all these people with horns.
I've never seen the movie, but there's a movie with the old dude who played Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe. It's called Horns. He ends up growing horns, a set of horns. And then there's also in an anime like Hero Academia, there's a girl who has one horn, and she's the most powerful being in that series.
Right. So again, like in ancient Near Eastern culture, horns represented power, a kingdom, a heel, and it represented divinity. Because remember, Moses was made a god unto Pharaoh, but he was also made a god unto Aaron, which means if he was a god unto Aaron, the high priest, he was a god to all the children of Israel. People don't really talk about that. But because of his obedience, the Most High came to the Most High after they had sinned quickly. The first thing he did was what? Bowed down and worshipped. And then he did what? Up there 40 days and 40 nights. It don't take that long for 10 commandments. So he was praying and he was fasting, supplicating for the people. And then next thing you know, they couldn't even stand to see his face because he was imbued with all of that power. There was power in fasting and supplicating.
So his face was terrible looking.
Literal.
Like the Most High's face.
Literal. Literal.
But you said that Moses was a god to Pharaoh?
Yeah, the Most High said that, I will make you a god to Pharaoh. Yeah. Like, Jeremiah, the things that Moses did, you don't even see people in the New Testament doing that. Like having hellfire and brimstone coming down, all these different plagues, parting the Red Sea, making turn water into blood, killing the firstborn. That's terrible. Famine. Like you can't. Like what they gonna do?
And what people fail to realize, like the Israelites was in the midst of all of that. They were protected by the Most High. They didn't get raptured up into safety. They went through it with them, but they were in safety.
They had to endure to the Enoch. They had to. Their rapture was the Exodus. That's what their rapture was. Every time when we go back to the land, that is a rapture. That's what it's going to look like. What? Oh, they're going back to the land. You're doggone right. Because we're Igbos, right? Because we're Bantu. Because we're Ashanti, Yoruba. We're all these different tribes from the Congo also. Oh, yeah? Because we're all these people. I just wanted to show y'all that even in their depiction, of course, they show these false images. All these depictions of Moses with horns. So, again, this was something that was known. He went through a transformation after prayer, supplication, fasting, right? And then literally holding on to the commandments of the Most High. Literally. The two tables, which represent the two covenants. The two major covenants. And until Moses had done speaking with them, he put on a veil on his face. Because they couldn't stand, because again, they viewed Moses as a god. That's what he became to them. But when Moses went in before Yahuwah to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw that Moses, the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face was shown. And Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with him.
Can you imagine watching him walk around at nighttime and he lights up the whole place?
Everything. Right. And then again, because you got to think, they're in a spiritual time and a spiritual place. The most spiritual place on earth at the time, because the Most High is literally right there. So then all of their eyes end up getting open. So I'm not saying that it was like a physical. I'm saying that they could literally see the light coming from there. And it was in the form, right, of horns, right? And because the power was just on him. And he would keep going to see the Most High until the Most High finally took him on, right? But I'm telling you, when you go through changes and you go through a transformation, a lot of times it's the Gentiles who are going to be the ones that tell you, like, man, like you really got a light, a glow. There's something with you, you know? But that's all I got today. Let's make it in short. We'll get more into the iniquities of the fathers next time. June, you pray us out?
Yes. Yeah, I'd like to thank you for getting us together safely and giving us this word today. May it sit in, may we soak it up, may we meditate over this and get an understanding of all things and what just transpired. I ask that you keep us safe as we part our ways, and as everybody's watching, keep them safe as well. Thank you for this day. Thank you for keeping us, and we will serve you and only you.
Yes, Lord. Shalom. So again, this was part 2 of the iniquity of the fathers. Let your light so shine among men, the light of the truth, which is the law, which is the Torah. We are Yehuda. This is YAH'S Assembly. So please subscribe, hit that notification bell, like and share our content. And as always, until next time.
Shalom.
Shalom, family.
Whoa.